video, I will be speaking about BTC USD. Now, as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, first I will be covering the technical aspect of this market, then we will move to the on-chain data, and by the end of the video, by using a combination of these two different types of analysis, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here on this pair. Now, starting from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have a market which has just broken above a quite strong structure level. In fact, what we know is that exactly from here, the market started all this move to the downside. Again, here, the market created a high and created this move to the downside before then getting rejected to the upside. So as we are currently breaking and closing above this level in about 2 days and 8 hours, all this previous resistance is going to be turned support here. Now, if we zoom out, we can also notice, if we look at the macro movements of this market, that we just tested and rejected exactly the previous cycle high. In fact, from here, the previous bear market was created. Then here we had the halving, the market entered into a bull market. Then we had the bear market, which in my opinion ended exactly here with the test of the previous cycle high, which at the moment the market is rejecting to the upside. So in a situation like this, more bullish price action could be expected away from this area. Dropping down on the weekly, we can see how also in the weekly time frame, everything is looking quite bullish. The market is breaking above structure, and we could expect more bullish price action to be created away from this zone. Dropping down on the daily, what do we see? Now, from a daily perspective, we must notice how the market is definitely currently stuck in a range. We have the bottom of the range, which is here, and the top of the range, which is here. Now, the bottom has already been rejected 3 times. The top as well has already had multiple tests. Now, until the market will remain in between this resistance and support, there isn't really anything interesting. The interesting thing would be if we actually got a break above this structure level. Now, if we go and see what we have when it comes to the on-chain data, so how Bitcoins are moving on and off from exchanges, so essentially by looking at the fundamentals of this market, what we can see is that as the price was dropping here with the black line, the purple line, so the amount of Bitcoins on exchanges, was dropping even more aggressively. This shows that clearly we have a huge amount of Bitcoins which are getting bought and moved away from exchanges, possibly in cold storage. Now, this creates illiquidity so that if demand gets increased or if the amount of Bitcoins emitted into circulation gets cut in half, price should increase to accommodate for that new demand. So the fundamentals at the moment are quite strong as well. So the way in which things could be very interesting is if we actually get a break above this resistance. Now, we do not have any confirmation that would happen. The market could easily remain in this range for now. However, if we get a break above this resistance, all this previous resistance would become support. And since the fundamentals are strong and we have already seen the macro movements on the monthly time frame which indicate a potential rejection to the upside, if we get the break on the retest of this previous resistance turn support, we would have a good probability of seeing another rejection to the upside away from the area. So if we do get the break on the retest, how we could be approaching a potential rejection higher. Now, as usual, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily, combined with the on-chain data, those are the best time frames from a directional perspective. However, when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best time frames are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what we could be doing, potentially also with students, is monitoring price action from an intraday perspective during this move to the downside, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bearish market as we would have to an intraday bullish market. And if the market would shift from an intraday bearish to a bullish market and provide to us one of our valid entries, at that point we could be looking for a potential rejection to the upside for the market to complete this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis education and update, make sure that you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free analysis education and updates for all of you, and I will see you in my next breakdown.